Hey you guys, welcome to my channel, Nursing with Key, where I make a whole bunch of nursing related videos sharing tips and tricks that I've learned along my journey to help you guys have the smoothest nursing journey. So in today's video, what I wanted to talk about were the three main differences between working as a CNA in a residence as opposed to working as a CNA in a hospital. So if you're interested in seeing this video, stay tuned. So the first difference between working in a residence and a hospital is how repetitive residences are. Usually when you work in a residence, you're working with the same residents, the same patients every day, and everything is done at the same time every day, just because most of the time people who are in residences have different forms of dementia, and a very important thing for them is routine. So you work with the same people and do the same thing every day. Whereas when you're working in the hospital, you're working with a whole bunch of different patients. A lot of the times patients do not stay for a long time unless if they're admitted in ICUs, and CNAs don't really have the opportunity that much to work in the ICU anyway, so most times when you're working in the hospital, you won't be with the patient for more than max 2 weeks usually. The second difference is the tasks. So the tasks that you do in the hospital as opposed to a residence. Don't get me wrong, when you work in a hospital as a CNA, your main responsibility is still taking care of ADLs and helping people with hygiene and ambulation and all of that stuff. But when you're working in the hospital, a lot of the time people are able to help themselves. A lot of the time people can shower themselves, they can eat by themselves and stuff like that. On rare occasions you may have to help somebody with feeding, but a lot of the time they are independent. So you are very busy doing other things like bringing stool samples or urine samples, blood samples to the lab, or picking up non-narcotic drugs downstairs, at the lab, or restocking. So you do a lot of that in the hospital, as well as sometimes transport. So if the hospital is short on transport, you may have to go with a transport to an MRI or a CT scan or an ultrasound if there are not enough transports around. Third thing, and this is really good for nursing students or anybody considering getting into the nursing or medical field, is the opportunity you have in the hospital to work in different areas. So you are not just doing long-term care. You can work in emergency, you can work in long-term care because some hospitals have long-term care facilities. You can work in palliative care, you can work in ICU sometimes. You can work in so many different areas, and that's like a really big difference between a residence, where you're really just in a residence, you're really just working with people who are relatively healthy but may have Alzheimer's or different types of dementia, whereas in the hospital you can work in so many different areas and you get to see nurses handle things differently everywhere. So if you're a nursing student or if you're thinking about medical school, working in a hospital is a really good opportunity, and if you guys can get a job in a hospital, you guys should definitely take advantage of that. And the last thing is obviously the salary. Usually you get paid so much more in a hospital, so if you guys are thinking about getting a CNA job, definitely go for a hospital if you can. If you guys haven't seen my video talking about my salary, comparing my salary in a residence as a CNA to my salary in a hospital as a CNA, definitely go check that out. But the difference is usually pretty huge. So that was the last one. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye.